Hello friends, so today I'll be just discussing, it is a short summary for the management first chapter. Okay, the first chapter is general management. So we are going to first do the standard definition on management. So what is management? Management is the art of getting things done. Okay, दूसरों से काम लेना है हम लोग को. तो management is the art of getting things done through and with people in a formally organized groups. ठीक है, management क्या है, इसमें कीवर्ड क्या क्या है, art of getting things done, और दूसरा क्या है, formally organized groups होना चाहिए. ठीक है. So there are certain features of the management. What are those features? First, it's goal oriented. Okay, when you are in an organization, so you aim to fulfill certain goal. Okay, so it is goal oriented. It is universal, which means it is applicable for all sizes and all types of organization. Then it is an integrative force. Okay, integrative force means it combines various resources like human resource and the outside world, financial resources, different things. Okay, to make something very productive, to create something. So it is an integrative force. It is a system of authority. Okay, there is a chain of command in the management. Then it is a dynamic process. Okay, once a solution is found to some problem, then again a problem arises and it continues, so it is a dynamic process. Apart from this, various external environment can influence the process of management, like certain government changes in government rules or anything can or some global impact, so it is a dynamic process. Okay, then it's a multidisciplinary means technical support is required, so there is an engineering. Okay, then humans are involved, so there is psychology, sociology, art, science, everything is involved. Okay, so it is a multidisciplinary course. It is intangible. Intangible means it can't be its presence cannot be seen, but it is felt everywhere, and it is art as well as science. Science because it is a practical theoretical, and art because it can be applied practically in an organization. So in management why are we studying management? Okay, because it has certain objectives. Okay, if any organization has a management, it has certain objectives. These objectives work on three parameters. Okay, the first is organization. There is some objective for the organization. Okay, then there is some objective for the social good. Okay, and the third objective is for personal being. Okay, so for organization, what we need is organization works for the survival, growth, and profit. Okay, so these are the objectives of management for organization. For social is quality. We need to maintain the quality. Then the price should be reasonable. It provides employment. Therefore, the businesses and organizations are supported by the government. Then it creates economic wealth. It is eco-friendly, and it provides training and vocation to the graduates or freshly educated people. So these are its social objectives. And for personal objectives, what are its personal objectives? Personal objectives are like I want salary, so to provide adequate salary, to have a good working conditions, then recognition by the peer, then training and development. So these are the objectives of the management. If they are able to fulfill all these objectives, then the organization would perform well. Okay. So now the management works at three levels. Okay, the first is the lower level, then middle level management, and then comes top level management. Question has been asked from this portion. Okay, so the management works at three levels. The lower level management deals with the planning day-to-day work, training of workers, evaluating performance, motivating the workforce, close personal contacts with the workers to ensure discipline and teamwork. Okay, for middle management, what is the work of middle management? They coordinate between the top management and the lower management. Okay, they issue detailed orders. The policies are created by the top management. Okay, the top management creates policies. They do tie-ups. They have their missions and goals. How much would be the profitability? Everything is decided by the top management. This is communicated to the lower management through the middle management. Okay, so middle management is going to explain and interpret policy decisions to the lower management, issue detailed orders, and allocate resources, recruit supervisory personnel, guide the lower management. Okay, so if we see, there are three kinds of skills are required for each level. Okay, the lower management level requires technical skill. The middle level requires human skill. Human skill means the communication skill. Okay, they need to communicate between the top and the lower management, so they require communication skills. And top management require conceptual skills, because they are the ones who will be deciding how the organization is going to work. Okay, so they are making policies, and they are representing the organization to the third parties and outside world, so they should have conceptual skills. Okay, now one more portion should be covered. This was also asked in PYQ, the difference between efficiency and effectiveness. Okay, these two terms appear similar, but there is a difference between them. What is effectiveness? Effectiveness is काम हो जाना चाहिए, टारगेट फुलफिल हो जाना चाहिए इतने वक्त पे. कैसे हो रहा है, क्या हो रहा है, इट्स नन ऑफ आवर बिजनेस, काम हो जाना चाहिए. एफिशिएंसी इज टू प्रोड्यूस समथिंग विदाउट वेस्टिंग टाइम और एनर्जी. अच्छे से काम होना चाहिए, दैट इज एफिशिएंसी. काम हो जाना चाहिए, दैट इज इफेक्टिवनेस. Okay, now talking about the theories of management. So the theory of management evolved in three phases. Okay, the first was proposed classical theories, then came the neoclassical theories, and then came the modern theories. Okay, so in classical theories was came earlier. So it talked about a closed system. Okay, it viewed organization as a separate entity where there is no influence of the external sector. Okay, there is no influence of psychology or motivation or any human needs other than the economic needs. Okay, so they emphasized on the division of labor. Okay, the task will be divided among various groups. Then they emphasized on the hierarchical structure. The structure should be there should be one boss, then under him there's certain subordinates, and like this. Then they ignored the human element, like motivation, like the psychological needs, like the need for good working conditions or a friendly environment, or like today we talk about toxic culture and this and that. So they ignored all those things. Okay, they assume that people at work are rational and they are motivated by only economic rewards. Okay, so salary is all that person requires and nothing else. Then they were based on centralization, like top to bottom there will be a one head under which certain subordinate, then under him the subordinate, so like a centralized structure. And they assume that there is no conflict between the individual and the organization. Okay, so that runs smoothly, and the management has to just they just have to manage people and resources. Okay, there is no conflict between the individual and organization. So it was quite superficial. As we can see, the classical theory was quite superficial. Okay, so they were ignoring the main human element from this. So then came the neoclassical theory. Okay, so in neoclassical theory, one theory which is given in our syllabus is human relations approach theory. This theory was given by Elton Mayo. Okay, and this theory talked about the human needs. Okay, there are human factors apart from salary. There are other factors like human needs, human social status, and the psychology of human. Okay, the need for better communication, so working culture and environment. So it talked about all those things. Okay, but the main problem with new classical theory was it gave too much stress on human beings, and it ignored the management of the management as a whole. Okay, so then came the modern approach. In modern approach, social system theory is given in our syllabus. So the social system theory is an amalgamation of both the classical theory and the human neoclassical theory, and it's the better. It provides all the good points of both these theories. Okay, so this is the social system theory. So let's first learn the classical theory. So under classical theory comes three theories: the scientific theory, administrative theory, and bureaucratic theory. The scientific theory was given by Taylor. He is known as the father of scientific theory. Administrative theory was given by Fayol, Henry Fayol. He is known as the father of administrative management. And the bureaucratic theory was given by Max Weber, and he is known as the father of bureaucratic management. Okay, so let's talk about the scientific management. So Taylor was himself a production manager. Okay, so he was so what he majorly focused on is productivity, how to increase the productivity scientifically. Okay, so he provided the four main rules in his theory. The first one is science not rule of thumb. Okay, we need to learn these phrases as it is. Okay, so the first is science. The question was asked in PYQ from this portion. The science not rule of thumb. Okay, in this theory, in this point, he tells that the work should be divided into small parts, and each individual should be given a single part of the work to do. Then he talks about the harmony not discord, where the profit or the share should be divided among different individuals in the organizations. Okay, and there should be harmony, no discord. Then comes the cooperation not individualism, where the manager should encourage constructive suggestions from its subordinates. Okay, and then comes the division of labor, development of every person to his or her greatest efficiency, which is the motto for division of labor. Okay, so he suggested some techniques for scientific management. Okay, so what are the techniques? He said that first is the functional foremanship. Functional foremanship is that there should be a supervisor for each of the expertise work. Okay, for instance, in a factory there should be a supervisor for planning. Okay, so he's a planning officer, and there should be a separate production officer. One person shouldn't be planning and doing the production thing. Okay, then both of them would be instructing the worker, and the worker should be workers would do the task. Okay, so a specialized person should be there for each supervisory task. Now this function is functional foremanship, the principle of functional foremanship is violating the principle of unity of command given by Henry Fayol. We will talk about it later. So in the unity of command, it says that one worker should follow one supervisor. Okay, otherwise he will get confused, and he will do there will be a clash of instructions. So so it is violating the unity of command. Then the other technique was he studied different standards and standards of work. Okay, so he studied fatigue study. He did fatigue study, where he studied after how much interval one needs to have take rest. Okay, then method study, time study, motion study, that how much motion should be done to do the thing effectively, which method should be used, how much time should be required for each. So scientifically he's studying everything. Okay, then different piece weight system. He studied different piece weight system, where a worker who is working more would be rewarded with higher wage, and the one who is not working should be given lesser wage. Okay, so all this will relate to productivity, and productivity represents the goods and services produced in relation to the resources utilized in the production. Okay, what is productivity? Productivity represents goods and services produced in relation to the resources utilized in the production. Okay, so scientific management talks about increasing the productivity. Okay, so it has certain pros and certain cons. The pros are that it establishes a harmonious relationship between manager and worker, since it's talk about the constructive suggestion and sharing the gain and profit, so it's harmonious relationship. Then it's talks about the proper selection and training. Okay, then equal division of work, then incentive for higher production, like a differential piece weight system. It talks about that. Standard talks about standard of tools and elimination of wastage. So these are its pros. And for cons, of course, the violation of that unity of command. Then it is applicable only in the production management. Okay, it's not talking about some consultancy management or different kind of service sector. It's just talking about the production management. And secondly, the human factor is ignored. This is a common con in each of the classical theory, that the human factor is ignored. Now let's talk about the bureaucratic system. So bureaucratic system is simply a bureaucracy. Okay, as we see in our government organizations and everything. So the bureaucratic system is bureaucracy, where there will be a well-defined hierarchy. The work will be divided according, and each one will have a specialization in his field. Then there will be rules and regulations. There will be official records. There will be impersonal relationship. मतलब दोस्ती यारी नहीं करना है. There will be impersonal relationship between managers and employees, and competence should be there in hiring and promotions. No विधायक है मेरे चाचा विधायक type of thing is should not be there. Okay, so bureaucratic system, very hierarchical and official records type of system. So its pros are it's rational, non-partial, people is accountable since the official records are maintained and we have a hierarchy, so you are responsible, accountable. There is control, since there is hierarchy, so there is control. Okay, the cons are it's rigidity in operation, as we can see in our government organizations. There is rigidity in organizations. Then there is delay and red tapeism. Okay, ineffective communication, compartmentalization. Okay, the subordinates are not asked about their suggestions or creativity. There is no scope for creativity, so there is compartmentalization, lack of human touch, more emphasis on rules. Okay, so these are the bureaucracy. Then administrative management talks about the top view of management. Okay, top management point of view, the top level management. Okay, so it has three categories. The first is general principles of management, the second is qualities of manager, and the third is elements of management. Okay, so the general principles of management is very important. It's the Fayol's 14 principles of management. It is very important for descriptive too. Okay, and qualities of management. Manager should have physical health and vigor. He should be mentally able to understand things. He should be loyal, have dignity. He should have certain educational background to understand the matters. Then he should have technical understanding of the function being performed. And then we are doing the elements of management. So elements of management is POC3, yani planning, organizing, commanding, coordinating and controlling. The details of it we will study later while doing the functions of management. Okay, so these three are the elements of management. Now the 14 principles of management. The 14 principles of management are the division of work. The work will be divided into number of tasks and single person will be given single task. Okay, then the authority and responsibility, that is the right to give orders, and the subordinate should have the duty to perform the orders. Okay, then there should be discipline, there should be rules and regulations, violation of which would create chaos. Then there is unity of command. You need to learn these phrases and their meaning. Okay, unity of command is employees should receive orders from one superior. Okay, one superior only. This was violating the functional foremanship which we talked earlier. Okay, so this is unity of command given by Fayol. Then the unity of direction, that is one plan, one boss. Okay, there should be central authority for better coordination. Then alignment of interest, that is the interest of employee and the is subordinate to the interest of the organization. Okay, they are giving priority to the interest of the organization, and then comes the interest of the employees. Interest means the needs. Okay, the needs of the employees. Then remuneration of the employee, that is there should be fair salary. Then centralization. Okay, all of the classical theories talks about centralization, that is there should be one authority of decision, and then under which comes different subordinates. Then there is order, there is right material and right employee for certain tasks. Then equity, combination of kindliness and justice should be there. There shouldn't be any discrimination, so equity. Then there should be stability of tenure, that is an employee should be recruited for a longer time so that he can learn and what he has learned and gained through through these past years of his work, so he can utilize it for the welfare of the company. Then comes the initiative. Employees should be allowed to give suggestions. Then comes the esprit de corps. This is an important phrase which means union is strength. So it talks about promoting teamwork and group spirit. Now comes the scalar chain. Okay, a lot of time the question has asked from here. Okay, has been asked from here. So I have drawn this separately. So scalar chain is what? As we can see, there is a triangle and there is a hierarchy. Okay, the person will talk to his immediate senior, then he will talk to his immediate senior like this. Okay, so there is a chain of authority, and this chain of authority should be followed. This is called scalar chain. Now at the same level, two persons from different departments at the same level can talk between themselves. So this is called gang plan. Okay, so gang plan. Apart from this, there one more thing which is the difference between administration and management. So administration is making policies, management is more about implementing those policies. Okay, so administration is a concept and management is a technical thing. Okay, so I will be covering the neoclassical and modern theory in the next video. So bye.